There are these moments that just stop the world. Days when a single piece of news shoots across the globe in an instant and billions of people share the exact same feeling of disbelief. This is the story of one of those days.
It all really comes down to this one date. A day that started out completely ordinary but would end up closing a massive chapter in the history of music. At first, the reports were just fragmented, Almost unbelievable. Just whispers on the wire about a global icon.
Being rushed to a hospital in Los Angeles. And then all of a sudden, news alerts started flashing on every single screen, and you could just feel the sense of emergency building everywhere.
And for a few totally surreal hours, the world just waited. News helicopters were hovering, reporters were standing by, and it felt like the entire planet was holding its breath. Hoping for the best, but I think we all were fearing the worst.
And then the confirmation came. And with it, just this profound gut punch of shock. It didn't seem possible, right? Michael Jackson, the king of pop, was gone. The feeling was just this collective global disbelief. So to really understand what happened, we've got to go behind the curtain. We have to look at the immense, crushing pressure of his final days. He was in the middle of preparing for what was being billed as the greatest comeback in music history, a grueling series of 50 shows in London called This Is It. The whole world was watching, and the expectations were absolutely stratospheric. So on the outside, this was a triumphant return to glory. But privately, he was battling complete exhaustion, chronic pain, and just this relentless pressure to be the superstar everyone remembered. The demands on his body were just immense. To cope with that physical toll and what was apparently a crippling insomnia, he started to rely on some incredibly powerful medications. He was being given propofol, which is a potent surgical anesthetic. This is stuff that should never be used as a sleep aid, especially outside of an operating room. And in his final hours, that reliance on such a dangerous medication led to a fatal dosage. By the time emergency services were finally called, it was already too late. The medical details are just tragic, but the human reaction, that was absolutely staggering. It built into this global wave of mourning that I don't think we'd ever seen before. In Los Angeles, the city where he passed, crowds immediately started to gather, just spontaneously, outside the hospital, his home, creating these impromptu memorials. And this grief wasn't contained by borders, not at all. All the way over in Tokyo, fans held vigils. It was a real testament to his worldwide impact and just how deep that connection to his music really was for people. And then there was London, the very city where he was supposed to make his brand return. Instead, fans gathered to sing the songs that had been the soundtrack to their lives. The outpouring of emotion was just universal. In the wake of it all, these really difficult questions started to surface. Investigations led to this intense scrutiny over medical responsibility, but also the pressures of the industry itself, raising this haunting question about the true cost of fame. This wasn't simply a celebrity passing away. The collective grief was for someone who was woven into the very fabric of our culture, a true legend. But here's the thing. His death, while it absolutely marked the end of an era, it wasn't the end of his story. His legacy was already immortal. Because beyond the incredible showmanship, beyond the moonwalk, there was the humanitarian, the person who wrote songs like Heal the World and used his massive platform to call for unity and love. When you really look back, you see these different but totally connected sides of him. There's the boy, that impossibly talented kid who just captured the world's heart. Then the revolutionary artist behind Thriller, who completely redefined music videos and pop music itself. And of course, the humanitarian, whose message continues to resonate so deeply. And that's really why his influence endures. His life might have ended on that June day, but his art is timeless. His sound, his iconic dance moves, his creative vision, it all continues to inspire new generations of artists and fans all across the globe. His story is powerful, it's complex, and ultimately it's incredibly tragic. And it leaves us with a question that kind of echoes long after the music stops. What is the true price of fame?